anytime anyone would challenge me with, the type of season that Oklahoma had in 2024, and it was usually from a national perspective, they just were awful, they sucked. Of course, I'd come back with the defense because people didn't pay attention and really focus that this was one of the maybe 10 best defenses in the country last year. So does that seem to be an attainable standard despite the losses of the production at the top of the tackle charts and so forth?
Well, certainly. I think the national perspective right now, if you were to poll the majority of national pundits and experts on who has the best defensive line in the SEC, at least on paper, Oklahoma seems to be the popular choice right now. You look at that linebacker group. I mentioned Kip Lewis. Oklahoma brought in Oklahoma State transfer Kendall Daniels, another outstanding football player with a ton of experience to help solidify that position. You have Sammy Omasigo in the mix, a rising junior that has seen the field in various capacities for Oklahoma over his first 2 seasons on campus, and is somebody that I'm very, very high on. Think he could take a quantum leap. Kobe McKenzie, a redshirt junior who's seen action for Oklahoma as more or less a second teamer at linebacker. He hasn't started yet, at least not for any substantial length of time. But he's somebody that played good football at times last year, is especially outstanding in run support, and is somebody that is going to give Oklahoma help at that position. In the secondary, you're going to have 2 studs at safety, and Peyton Bowen and Robert Spears-Jennings. Their backups, Michael Boganowski and Jaden Hardy, are also excellent players. Kendall Dolby back at Cheetah after sustaining a dislocated ankle that cost him the majority of last season, but he has blown the rehab out of the water per everyone I've talked to. So expectations are high for him. The one question mark is maybe cornerback, and the Sooners do have 2 really solid, really capable starters, 2 guys that have played high-level football when healthy in Gentry Williams and Eli Bowen, but both of them have battled injuries more so than you would have liked them to this point in their collegiate careers. So it's a question of whether you're going to have those guys healthy and available for all 12, 13, 14 games, whatever it winds up being. And then behind them, who emerges? True freshman Cortland Guillory has earned a lot of buzz. Redshirt freshman Jeremiah Newcomb, Bobby Newcomb's son, has done some great things this offseason. Davon Jordan, a sophomore, saw some run last year as a true freshman and played well. And then Jacoby Johnson, maybe the best athlete of the group as a rising junior. Not a natural corner, played a lot more wide receiver in high school, but somebody that he's one of those dudes, whatever you ask him to do on a football field, he's going to be capable of holding his own. So cornerback is the one position group on that defense where I feel like we know the least about what it looks like, at least beyond those 2 admittedly injury-plagued starters to this point. But the defense as a whole, Mark, there's no reason why they shouldn't verge on being a top 10 unit in the country.
So it sounds like you answered my next question right at the tail end there with cornerback, because while it doesn't appear as though there's some kind of fire drill going on trying to figure out what are we going to do over the next month to fix this spot or that position or hide him, cornerback might be the biggest focus in terms of sorting things out.
Yeah, it might be. And obviously, if Gentry Williams and Eli Bowen don't get hurt, that's actually one of the best cornerback pairs in the SEC. That's one of the best tandems you're going to find in the conference. Both of them have played incredible football at times during their careers at Oklahoma when they have been healthy and available. You go back to the OU Alabama game last year. How many guys last season, Mark, managed to lock down Ryan Williams for a full 60 minutes? Eli Bowen, as a true freshman, did that. Eli Bowen limited Ryan Williams to 2 catches last year when Alabama came to Owen Field. So the talent is there, and I do think Cortland Guillory does have the potential, if the opportunities are there, to be one of the more impactful freshmen in the conference this fall. But it's not a question of whether the talent is there. It's just kind of a question of who is capable beyond those 2 projected starters of really taking the leap and helping solidify that group for Oklahoma.
Parker, before we let you go, in terms of your own approach to covering college football, I know that the business moves so fast. You were probably, on the ground running after 2 weeks after Oklahoma was, announced to the SEC, or at least playing in the SEC. So it's been a full year plus, but still, what's it been for you to be focused this direction than to do one of these in regards to opponents, other teams, just the whole vibe of the SEC and the way it's structured and the prominence and everything involved.
I love covering football in the SEC, Mark. They say it just means more, and it truly does. And, I think when you go somewhere like, for instance, and Auburn, Alabama last fall, I mean, that was an eye-opening road trip to me. SEC football is different. It feels like Oklahoma belongs in this conference a little bit more than they belong in the Big 12, which I would not have imagined saying at the time when the transition was announced, because it felt weird that Oklahoma was all of a sudden going to be playing SEC ball. But no, it fits. It's a league that's football first, football forward, and you go to any of these venues across the conference, and I'm really excited to go to some of them for the first time this fall, including South Carolina, which is a trip that everybody that's done it has told me it's going to exceed your expectations and then some. Man, you can't go anywhere in the SEC without escaping the aura of everything that the conference is in the sport of football. So it's been really cool.
Parker Thune, KREF Sports, every day, weekdays. That's noon Central Time. And then, of course, catch his work on OU Insider. That's Rivals and On 3. Parker, always appreciate you breaking things down for us and being here for us, and enjoy August camp.
No problem. Appreciate you, Mark. We'll do it again.